and whole chapters have been dedicated in Ayurveda. Let's say in Europe where it gets -10.
So what does Ayurveda say about it? As you said that there are chapters dedicated to it.
If it's snowing or raining and you get wet or somehow you get cold,
Yeah,
you lose your appetite very quickly.
yeah. Everyone just likes to cuddle up in their blankets and stay in the bed all day.
People who eat raw garlic and all or raw onions, this is not a good time. So actually it's a great time to leave the bed and do some exercise.
Okay.
Whatever exercise you like. The body is the strongest during this time.
Okay.
I will ask you a question that
So this is the general advice that we give to everyone, that you would give to anyone. But what about the people, who don't come in the general audience, like someone who has a disease, let's say, someone who maybe has diabetes, maybe has arthritis, maybe is a little sick. So what is your advice to them and what does Ayurveda say about it? A very warm namaste to everyone and welcome back to Ayurveda. Today we are here with Dr. Sharma again.
Namaste.
Hello Dr. Sharma, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Very cold actually today.
Yes, now it's snowing in the nearby mountains.
Yes. So, keeping the snow in the mind, I have decided today's topic, and I would like to talk to you about winter and how the lifestyle is in winter and what Ayurveda has to say about winters.
Okay.
So, in summers, everyone was wearing shorts, and now everyone is, wearing 3 full sweaters like me and wearing a jacket over it.
Yeah, it's a nice jacket, I must say.
Thank you. So, keeping this jacket in mind, like our clothes change, and just like our clothes, should our diet also change? Should our other parts of our lifestyle also change? So, what do you say about it?
Yes, so it's a very important question, and the answer is yes, it should change. It should change drastically as the outside temperature is changing, and not only temperature, also the nature of the wind is changing. Now it's more drier, as you see. In August, September, it was more moist, humid.
Yes.
There was a lot of humidity. Now it's more dry, what we call ruksha guna vriddhi. The dryness has increased, and the element of wind goes up. So yes, it must go. The diet and lifestyle must change, and whole chapters have been dedicated in Ayurveda to this diet and lifestyle. As you see, I have this Ashtanga Rhythm, chapter number 3, Ritu Charya. Is dedicated Ritu Charya. Ritu means season. Charya is a regimen or lifestyle.
Okay.
So it talks about the seasonal lifestyle. Then similarly, I have a Charaka here, the other authority.
Yes.
Chapter number 6 is dedicated to seasonal. So whole chapters have been dedicated.
Okay. So, there is a lot about it.
Yes, there is a lot about it, and it's a very important aspect of our life actually.
So, what does Ayurveda say about it? As you said that there are chapters dedicated to it. So,
First, we must look at our body as a battery. So according to Ayurveda, in a nutshell, our battery is fully charged in the winters,
okay.
and then it slowly starts to discharge as the spring comes, and then it's fully discharged in the summers and in the monsoons, and then it starts charging again. So it's like a cycle of the battery.
Okay. So, I don't really get it. Like, can you explain a little bit more about this battery concept, like how it works?
Okay, so let's keep winter in mind. You imagine a house or imagine a room,
Yes.
and this room, central fire is burning. There is a fireplace, fire is burning in the center of this room, and there are pipes taking this heat outside the room. Pipes from inside and going outside. They are dissipating the heat outside. And what happens if it starts freezing or snowing outside this house? What will happen?
A little bit cold will start to get inside.
Yes, and the pipes will clog.
Okay.
Generally,
Yes.
constriction happens you see all the pipes.
Yes.
So the pipes will clog, and they will not take the heat outside. So what happens if the heat is not going outside?
Oh, let's continue even if the electricity is out. Let's keep the podcast on.
So once these pipes are clogged, the heat will not go outside. So the heat is trapped inside the house, inside that room, and that room starts getting hot.
Okay.
So this is what happens in winters. The inside, the room I'm talking about is your gut fire.
Oh, okay.
So it cannot come outside, it's trapped inside, and it gets very strong. Your metabolism gets very strong. So as we have discussed in past few topics, what if the fire is very strong? How will you keep it going?
We will add big logs to it.
Yes, that's very right. We will add big logs of wood to this fire.
Yes.
Otherwise, this fire will start eating the floor of the room or the walls of the room.
Yes.
So to prevent that, you must add a lot of fuel to this fire. So coming back to your jacket, so what if this room, the pipes are blocked, but what if this room, the windows and walls were not insulated, and then the heat will go out not through
Yes.
the pipes but through the walls and the windows.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to wear these good clothes,
Okay.
so that we insulate it properly and the fire stays
Remains inside.
inside. So you know what happens when you somehow get wet in these winters, if it's snowing or raining and you get wet, or somehow you get cold,
Yeah.
you lose your appetite very quickly.
Yeah.
You lose your appetite. So that's what happens. The heat inside, because of the cold, it quickly goes outside and you lose all desire to eat, and you feel like throwing up or vomiting.
Yes.
So it's very important in the season to keep ourselves warm.
Okay. So even though I agree with you on this thing, on this conversation that we had, I still see people from time to time who are going in shirts and who don't really follow this type of regimen.
So that's where the body type plays its own role. Prakriti, they must be Pitta body type, which they naturally carry a lot of heat, and you must have seen more young ones,
Yes.
young guys. So they are in the Pitta phase of their life. So ideally, they should also keep themselves warm, but maybe they like more minus temperatures.
Yes.
Then they will prefer to be warm.
Yes. So my best friend usually is seen in a shirt roaming around his house, where I am seen in 3 full sweaters and a jacket.
So that's the body type playing its role. You are a Vata wind body type,
Yes.
so you don't like the cold wind.
Yes.
So we have podcasts coming up on these body types soon.
Yes, we do.
And
So there are places like Dharamshala, for example, is a place that is fairly cold. But Kerala, on the other hand, or Goa, on the other hand, is a place that is not that cold in comparison with Dharamshala. And then there is also a place like Antarctica or Russia where there is extremely cold.
Yes.
So how does this lifestyle change when we are talking about these places?
so basically, the winter lifestyle is, of course, for places which do experience winter. And in the places where there are no winters, then this will not change drastically, actually, in very tropical climates.
Okay.
We are here in more temperate subtropical climate in Dharamshala. But in other places, again, you have to see. Let's say there is in Dharamshala, the hottest it gets is around 37 degrees, 38 degrees at the peak.
Yes.
And the coldest could be, let's say, 1 degrees, 2 degrees. So there's a difference of 35 degrees plus, which is huge difference. So the diet and lifestyle must change. Let's come to another place, let's say in Europe or some, where it gets minus 10 and plus 20 or plus 25 maximum. Still, you would call it that it's not that hot place.
Yes.
The winters are the summers are very mild, 20-25 degrees, but minus 10 to plus 25, you still see there is a gap of 35 degrees.
Yes.
So wherever you live, you have to see what's the maximum, how the variation. If it's like 25, 30, 35 degrees, then the diet has to change drastically.
Okay.
If the difference between summers and winters is only, let's say, 2 degrees, 3 degrees.
Then you don't see change.
Yes.
Okay.
Then it will not change that much.
Okay. So can we talk about diet and lifestyle in comparison to a generally cold area, like let's say the North India? So
Yes, so before talking about the diet and lifestyle, we have to understand a little bit more of what's happening.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to ask you what is happening in our bodies as we speak of winters.
So as I said, this heat is trapped inside. We also call it pindikrit. The fire becomes like a pindi, like a shivalingam, concentrated, focused. And this fire can then digest very heavy stuff. So there is a lot of strength in the body during this time.
Yes, I've seen. But I don't know why. So even though I have seen that we have more strength, but at the same time I also feel very lazy in winters, and that's the same for everyone else too. Everyone just likes to cuddle up in their blankets and stay in the bed all day.
Yes.
So how do these two balance out, and what goes with them?
So actually, it's a great time to leave the bed and do some exercise.
Okay.
Whatever exercise you like. The body is the strongest during this time.
Okay.
I will ask you a question that who is stronger? Let's say a person from Siberia or a person from New Delhi.
Siberia. Yes.
His digestion is stronger, and he can digest seals, those seals and heavy meats. and plus is physically also very strong.
Yes.
People from Russia, people basically from, or the other way I can ask you, who's stronger, people from cold climates or people from warm climates?
That will be a little hard to answer, but I would choose a colder climate. I would
Colder
say.
climates.
Yes.
Who wins more medals in power sports,
Hmm.
if in Olympics? It will
People from
mostly
colder
people from cold climates.
Hmm.
Cold climate means constant winter,
Hmm.
constant
Yes.
winter. So when there is constant winter, there is constant need for heavy food and constant strength,
Hmm.
very high strength in the body.
Yes.
The more we go tropical, the strength falls. That's why I think India has less of medals in Olympics in these power sports.
Yes.
Anywhere there where more power is involved,
Hmm.
strength.
Hmm.
Except of course where we have a more traditional culture like mud wrestling,
Yes.
wrestling and
Like
all.
Haryana.
That's a cultural thing. But otherwise we lack, because the more we move towards the tropics, the more our body is exposed to summer season, the more weaker it is.
We lose more energy.
Yes.
Okay.
So the same example of the house I gave, the room, which the heat is trapped in winters. So what will happen in summers? Exactly the opposite. The pipes are open, everything is open, the insulation is gone, we remove our jackets and everything, and the heat dissipates out. So the inner metabolic fire, it goes out of the body in sweat. In the winters we don't sweat.
Yes.
So in summers it goes out, so there is less fire inside. So we eat less heavy and we are less strong. So coming back to your question of winter lifestyle and eating, so here in Ashtanga chapter 3 he says Swadu Amla Lavanan Rasan, which means we have to focus on sweet, sour and salty tastes.
Okay.
Eating sweet foods. तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, should we eat more sugar then?
So sweet, more sweet foods, like more sugar. So should I like start consuming more sugar, or what should I?
So sweet in Ayurveda doesn't mean sugary only. Milk is sweet.
Okay.
Milk without sugar.
Okay.
Can you appreciate some sweetness in the milk?
Yeah, there is some
If
sweetness.
you taste it,
Yes. It's very mildly
mild,
sweet.
subtle taste, but it is sweet. Rice are sweet.
Yes.
Then
Sweet potatoes, I would say.
yes, sweet potatoes, of course, that's more obvious. Then grain, wheat is sweet. Chapati is sweet.
Yes, it's sweet.
And then anything which builds you up is considered sweet actually.
Okay.
Meats are sweet.
Okay.
Except these seafood, which is considered salty. Most of the meats are considered sweet.
Okay.
Nourishing bodybuilding. What other taste can you see in meat? The meat is not salty, meat is not bitter like coffee, meat is not pungent like masalas. Meat is actually sweet.
Yes, it has a very neutral taste.
Neutral.
And it goes towards sweet.
Towards sweet. So these are some of the sweetish, and this is what Ayurveda asks you to focus on during. So this is what you said. To keep the fire going, we must have these heavy logs. So heavy foods, richer, more nourishing.
Okay. Like meats, eggs, paneer, cheese.
Cheese, and then
More
nuts, like almonds, pistachios, cashews. Nuts are grown in this season only. They're harvested.
Yes.
But there is a heat inside the nuts, so one has to be careful if one is a more inflammatory body type, problem with mouth ulcers and all, then one should soak.
Yes. Soak them in water.
Soak and eat. If there is no problem, then you can eat as such. So these all food groups belong to the sweet taste. Sweet also represents sweet taste of satisfaction.
Oh, yes.
So they satisfy you physically and mentally.
So, and what more did you say? Like sweet?
Swadu amla. Amla means sour. Sour means something like lemon or amla.
Yes.
Or fermented foods.
Okay, like buttermilk.
Yes, buttermilk, dahi, yogurt, kombucha, kimchi, kefir, vinegars, sauces, pickles can be had during the season. They, build up the fire more.
Okay.
And they help to digest the sweet foods which you are eating.
Are spicy foods also a part?
Not really. Spices belong to more pungent spices like peppers, garlic, ginger. They are more anything which brings tears through your eyes or water through your nose, like onions. They are not sweet. They're not sour or salty. They belong to different category. They are more considered spring foods, more to be eaten. So this is not a great time to focus on a lot of spices and all.
Okay, great advice.
People who eat, raw garlic and all, or raw onions, this is not a good time. You can focus more in the spring season, in March and April.
As the heat is already up in winters, is that why?
The heat is already up in winters, right? We don't want to overheat it. And we are building. So this is a building season,
Yes.
anabolic season. We have 6 seasons in Ayurveda.
Okay.
So early winters, late winters. So this would fall almost under now beginning of late winters.
Yes.
Early winters is like November, December.
Okay.
We call it Hemant. Hem means snow, Him like Himalayas. Ant means end.
Okay.
So in Hemant season, towards the end, it starts to snow. So like now we are towards the end of the Hemant season, December, and it's beginning to snow now.
Yes.
And the next season which we are going into is Shishir,
Okay.
late winters or peak of winters. Shishir is when it snows. So what you do, you
Oh,
create
yes.
this sound of she. So it's known as Shishir. And then comes the spring season, which is Basanta Ritu in March and April. And of course the Grishma Ritu, hot season, summer season in May, June. July, August is the monsoon season or Varsha Ritu. August, September is the Sharad Ritu
Okay.
or autumn season.
Okay.
So these are the 6 seasons. Out of this, some of the seasons are more building, where you should build up more. And you should not, like this is the season, you are building up
Okay.
by eating a lot of this protein and fats. We can also relate it to a like more ketogenic diet.
Okay.
Eating a lot of fats, a lot of proteins and rich grains, starchy grains. This is not a great time to fast.
Okay. So you should not fast in winters.
No. So can you tell me some of the winter festivals here?
Lodi is one.
Lodi is one. So Lodi is a big winter festival in North India. Is it a fasting festival? Do people fast on Lodi?
No, people eat.
It's a feasting festival.
Yes.
So you eat, you feast on, what you feast on? Sesame seeds, jaggery, nuts, grains, ghee, a lot of fried stuff, home cooked fried stuff. So it's a feasting. So you're putting heavy logs into your fire because it's season. So season also matches. Then there is Christmas. Christmas is a feasting. There are Christmas feasts. The beginning of winters comes the Diwali season. Is Diwali a fasting? Do you fast on Diwali?
No, we eat a lot.
So, and when do you start fasting? Can you tell me when the Shivratri, the Lord Shiva's birthday, Lord Krishna's, they come around March, April? March and April.
March and end of February.
Yes. So festivals have been intelligently,
Yes.
placed with the seasonal regime,
Yes.
so that out of respect to gods you fast,
And
and out of respect you feast.
Yes.
Out of respect or out of fear, you're forced. So feasting, heavy feasting during this time, and
My parents are always like, it's Diwali, why won't you have a laddu? And then they stuff 2 laddus in my mouth. So I have to eat them.
yes, so
to be said.
you must eat, and you must drink milk and whatever. For meat eaters, it's a meat eating time for. And apart from this, they talk about Navadanam. Navadanam means newly harvested grains.
Baisakhi.
Yes, so newly harvested grains you have to eat because they carry more strength. As the grains become older, they become less in strength.
Okay.
They become more lighter. So that's better for weight loss and all. And then they talk of Abhyangot Sadhanam Murdhani Tailam Jintakam Tapam. Abhyangot Sadhanam, Abhyangam. So they talk of oil massages with sesame seed oil. Sesame seed rich in iron, calcium, so many minerals.
Yes. Til ka til.
Yes. So you try to massage, self-massage, or if you can afford, you can go to different places. So you have to apply oil on your body and then show sunlight to this for vitamin D absorption. So good time to build vitamin D.
Okay.
So you are eating stuff rich in calcium and then you are exposing yourself to the sun with the oil on. So very good time for anabolism.
Okay.
So we talked of the sweet foods, all the nourishing ones. Then we talked of the fermented stuff, and then of course salty. So you can add more salt to your diet, and of course the healthy salts like the Himalayan salt and all.
Yes.
You can consume more because salt is also gives you a lot of minerals. So good time to store in minerals.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. What about exercise and how should we exercise?
So as I told you, it's a season where we are very strong. Even though we talked that we are feeling lethargic, that's all in the mind. If we leave the bed and we start exercising, it's the best time to exercise these 4 months.
Okay.
4 winter months, November, December, January, February. You actually see less rush in gyms, I think, during this season. People don't want to come out, but actually best season because the body is strong, less prone to injuries, and we can build more muscle during this time in winters. Those who are regular gym goers, they know they build more mass.
They
in
even
winters.
have a word for it.
What's that?
Winter arc, they say.
Winter arc.
So it's like they are the main character of a story, and an arc in a story means that there is a time which is going to be good for them. So they start their winter arc where they gain a lot of weight and they build a lot of muscle.
Yes.
So they call it the winter arc.
Yes. So good time to build. And we have separate topics on exercise, separate.
Yes. I will put the link in the iCards as I always do, and make sure to check them.
So the difference will be that usually the gym goers, they feed only on the proteins and forget about the fats. Ayurveda wants you to eat fats.
Okay.
And that will give a softness and suppleness to the body, like a wrestler's body, soft and supple. Wrestler can do all the moves, he can bend, in all directions, but soft and supple.
Yes.
Gym goer's body is more rigid, stiff. Kathin, we call it kathin, increase of kathinta.
So this is the general advice that we give to everyone, that you would give to anyone. But what about the people, who don't come in the general audience, like someone who has a disease, let's say, someone who maybe has diabetes, maybe has arthritis, maybe is a little sick. So what is your advice to them, and what does Ayurveda say about it?
Yeah, it's a very important question. What we just talked about, this seasonal regimen, Ritucharya, comes under maintenance of health. For someone who is already healthy, like you and me, to maintain this health, it's important to follow seasonal lifestyle. Like this Charaka, he also says, Balinam Bali. Balinam Bali. Balinam means one who is already strong, he will get stronger.
Okay.
One who is already healthy, he will get healthier by following this lifestyle. One who is very weak or he is consumed by disease, he should not follow this advice.
Okay.
For somebody who is sick, let's say somebody has diabetes uncontrolled or high blood pressure, or he has to follow that particular diet for that particular disease. Then seasonal diet will not be important. If you have someone with high blood pressure, then he will start eating this salt, extra salt, as we just said. It will shoot. Somebody with uncontrolled diabetes, he starts eating all this sweetness. It will. So this is for relatively healthy persons, more or less healthy. Nobody is 100% healthy, but I think more or less healthy. Someone who doesn't have any metabolic issues.
The average person.
Yes. So it is for him, and ideally, this is for persons who have followed the previous season diet lifestyle as well. So it has to be a cycle.
Okay.
Or if you, let's say, starting with a New Year resolution in the winters that you'll follow this diet of winters, then you must follow spring diet as well. Otherwise, you will load yourself up in the winters. Then Ayurveda talks about the spring diet, which is a cleansing diet, more cleansing. So you see, I didn't talk of eating a lot of fruits and veggies and oats and this kind of stuff here. That belongs to the spring cleanse.
Okay.
So this was a body building season. Spring will be a cleansing season. So once you have built this, of course, while you are putting this heavy stuff in your diet, there will be some byproduct, like in every factory which is making there is some waste material produced. So that has to be removed in the spring cleanse.
Okay.
If you don't do that, then you will face some consequences in the spring season, which will be like this, all this undigested. If this is somewhat undigested, then it will come out as spring allergies or fevers, hay fever, spring allergy, asthma or those kind of. So try to follow the other seasons as well and come into a cycle.
So according to this diet, should we also consume more ghee? As you said, like we are putting big logs, but what about ghee?
Yeah, so ghee is also a rich food, of course, rich in fat, so it should be eaten more than what you're eating in summers and spring. In fact, much more than that. So how much you eat usually?
In summers, I don't think we have more than like 3 or 4 spoons.
Yeah. So here you can take like 10-15 spoons also throughout the day.
This amount is also including the cooking food,
including the cooking and what you add on top.
Okay.
And then butter and cheese, of course.
Okay.
And what else is growing? A lot of amlas are growing now. If you see now, this is the amla.
Yes.
The Indian gooseberry harvesting season.
Yes.
So it's very good time to have amlas, which comes under amla as a sour taste. As we see, it's a good taste.
A lot of them lying in my house actually. So I'll go and munch on one. So what about yogurt and dahi?
So yogurt is also a rich food, belongs to the amla category, sour, as it is fermented. It is good, healthy during the season.
Okay, so we should have curd and not the opposite that I have heard in winters.
Yeah, what you've heard is because you're imagining ghee you kept in a fridge and you bring it out of the fridge and it's cold and you're imagining a cold food.
Yes.
But it's not the case. Imagine a room temperature ghee, warm, room temperature, kept in the sun, not out of the fridge. That's great to be eaten, especially during the day, not during the night. Dahi, yogurt is not good after sunset.
Okay.
So room temperature and with something sweet, or you can add amla paste to this, amla powder, or some jaggery or brown sugar,
Okay.
and it's great food for this season.
Great. I will have curd tomorrow with aloo ke paranthe and some ghee on top to make it even better and delicious. Maybe a buttermilk of glass. Maybe a
And
glass
then
of
you
buttermilk.
must also exercise, but
Yes.
not only mental exercise, physical exercise as well.
Yes.
You have to burn this heavy fuel.
So I'll start doing push-ups from today, I would say. That would be nice. So what about the Indian sweets? Laddu, rasmalai, rasgulle.
Yeah, this is a good time to eat. I wouldn't suggest these from the sweet shops, but homemade laddus, desserts,
Okay.
homemade, as you see, gachak. A lot of gachak is eaten in this season.
Yes.
So it's a great time. You find it dates you see only in this season.
Yes.
So it's because it's the time to eat them.
So homegrown, home cooked sweets.
Home cooked as far as possible, especially the laddus and all.
Yes. Okay.
And because this you see peanuts, you see only in this season,
Yes.
and all the jaggery comes in this season, sesame seeds and everything. But what you're saying, the rasmalai and gulab jamuns, those you see all year round.
Yes.
So that is not a real food actually. That's why it's there all year round.
Yes. Okay.
Same is with vegetables also. Vegetables which are being harvested now, root vegetables. See, carrots are
Saag.
coming. Yes. Saag, of course, you have to cook. You
Yes.
should not eat raw. Salads are not good. Salads will be drying and vata increasing. So not good time for salads. But more root vegetables cooked.
Okay.
Cooked in good amounts of oils and fats.
That's why my mom brings a lot of carrots whenever I'm home in winters.
Yes, carrots, and then they make this carrot halwa,
Yes.
carrot pudding.
I
with
love
milk.
that. Not the vegetable actually, but the
With
pudding.
lots of dry fruits. So our culture, lifestyle is actually aligned with the seasons
Okay.
and with the traditions and practice. We should retain it.
Okay. So now that we have talked about everything, if nothing is left now, I would like you to give us a short summary so that we can sum it up.
Okay, so winter season is a season of high metabolism, high metabolic power. So to satisfy this high metabolic power, the diet should be rich. Rich, belonging to the sweet, sour, salty category. Sweet means all the high protein, high fat foods can be eaten as per your choice. And sour means all the fermented stuff can be eaten, and of course with some salt as well, additional salt. And the metabolism is high, the strength levels are also high. So one should exercise as per rules of Ayurveda, but heavy exercise can be done within the limits of your body type. Heavy exercise can be done during this season. And of course, these rules don't apply if you are unhealthy or facing a major sickness, then the rules will be different. This is for preservation of health, swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, which we call preservation of health in an already healthy individual, in a strong individual.
We will call it maintenance also. as
Yeah,
you said.
maintenance. This is maintenance. So you imagine a room with a fire burning inside the room and some pipes dissipating or taking the fire, the heat outside of this room. So if it gets very cold outside, this fire gets clogged, blocked due to this cold, and the heat cannot be dissipated outside. Heat stays inside, provided we are well dressed up also, so that the heat doesn't come out of the walls and windows. So then this heat traps inside, and that leads to a high metabolic state.
Okay. So I think that sums it all up.
Yes.
And it was a great podcast. I enjoyed every single part of it. Got to know a lot about winters and about diet. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And me and Dr. Sharma will see you again in the next video. Bye bye.
Namaste.